Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. It's nice to see you back.
Nice to see you back. It's nice to see somebody I haven't seen for a minute.
From behind the curtain.
The curtain?
Yeah, our techie tech guy's now behind the wall again.
They banished me again.
We were feeding him chicken nuggets one at a time. He's inside the wall.
I gotta say, they're the nicest captives I've ever had.
Hey, we spared no expense with the rope. We got the nice soft rope that wouldn't like burn your skin.
Yeah, and I mean, 2 all day cold chicken nuggets. I mean, just
versus 4 day.
One every 5 hours isn't that bad.
No microwave needed.
No microwave needed.
No, they're pre-cooked. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. I won't die of salmonella.
Salmonella?
Yeah. You know, just like we're going to the land of pencils.
Yeah. That'll be a fun trip, though.
That will be a fun trip.
Oh, God. Well, the land of pencils and erasers and...
Nah, we're not going for the erasers.
Why wouldn't you go
Is
for
that
the
Russia?
erasers? I mean, it could be.
I don't know. We're going to the land of pencils.
You know, how could somebody that's fucked multiple Yetis in their lifetime start World War III or try to? Like, I just want to know. Like, how the fuck does that work?
Because they're like, I see they have Yeti.
Must have Yeti.
Ukraine got a special new Yeti just coming out of the fucking woods. And they're just like, war.
This is new model.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Oh, fuck.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, but...
I'm glad we don't have to be PC here.
No, not super.
We'd never make it.
We'd barely make it out of the house.
Oh, fuck.
The only thing PC about this podcast is the thing recording us.
This is true.
What, the government?
Yeah, the government.
Oh, we gotta keep them entertained, you know?
You know, I can entertain them.
Oh, God, no.
Black-eyed children,
no,
you know what
God
I mean?
damn
Like,
it,
same
no.
thing. I can do it.
We're
No.
rewinding to episode 1 in this episode.
Just let me show a little bit of skin.
That's it. Nope.
Is this what you want?
Nope. Yeah, go ahead. Strip now. Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, even. Oh, God. I didn't even know you were that white under that shirt.
On camera. You
Jesus
can't
Christ,
see this
he's
good
way
shit.
fucking white, isn't he?
Oh my God. Okay, I put my clothes back on.
All right. Safe to look now.
We're good.
God, you guys are lucky you did not have to see that.
Yeah, no, it was horrifying. It was like Beetlejuice when he showed him the scary shit, and he was just like, "Brah!" And just...
It's like you've been locked in a basement forever and never seen sunlight.
Yeah, with a microscopic penis.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but you know,
it's
since
okay.
you did,
Roast me. That's all
since
I
you
want.
did, I mean,
The micropenis will come out sooner or later.
the
2022.
The year of the micropenis.
It's the size of the same bullet. 22.
you tell me those little hot dog weenies for
Yes. Yeah,
for,
but no, little Smokies
the
are
little
bigger.
Smokies?
Those aren't small. Those are average.
That's what I was gonna say. That those are bigger.
Those are average.
This video, by the way, not sponsored by Pepsi.
Whoops.
We don't have sponsors.
No, we're not that cool yet.
Well, we're kind of sponsored by Anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
That we
Anchor.
are. Yeah.
You guys are great.
Yeah, they haven't kicked us off yet.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that is that's a sponsorship.
If they're lucky enough to keep us here, we're good.
Yeah.
So,
Anchor, by the way, started a video portion of their
Did they?
podcasting stuff. Yes.
so we can start posting on there too.
As soon as I figure out the bugs on it, yes, I will be doing that. The one thing is that when you post as video, it does separate it out to where there's video and audio. But currently there's no sponsorship type stuff going on. So no advertisements for their video stuff.
I feel like that'd still be fine. It still puts the video portion out there too.
Well, it does. It just means that like the audio portion, there's no advertising.
Oh.
So I'm trying to figure that one out.
Oh, we'll just have to get our own.
If I recall correctly, you also said that Spotify is going to start doing a similar
Spotify
thing.
is Anchor.
What?
What?
Well, I mean, they're married.
They're fucking? They're
yes,
fucking?
yes. They're tied together.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Anchor like puts it out to everybody.
The more you know.
The more you're afraid.
We're real.
Which
the
is
internet.
really what we got going on here. The more we put out there, the new things you get to be afraid of.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah. Speaking of getting put out there and everything.
Ethan's web history.
What? Fuck.
Yeah. You didn't know that we had a copy of that here.
It's all hentai. It's all
How to fix
hentai.
micropenis.
Yeah, well, that's on there too. That was on list number 1.
Yeah.
And then we
A
got.
lot. There's a lot of videos. A lot of web.
There were
websites here.
extensions that you can get. Do you know that you have an extra like 2 or 3 inches inside of you? But
Apparently, you Googled that. Yes, I see that you
I know.
Googled it. Yeah.
I know. I didn't know that before, but now I do.
Is the extra 2 inches in your butt?
Yeah. Well, which reminds me of something. Okay, I gotta ask you guys something since he's got his mic working pretty well now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a dirty thing, so just it's okay. It's okay. It's good. Shh. Children, leave the room. If you had fucking 4 inches inside you, backwards, and like in your ass, or you were 4 inches deep into somebody else, are you pulling? And let me clarify this. One's your dad, one's your mom. Who are you going? Are you going forward or backwards to get out?
I'm perturbed by the question.
You're what?
I am perturbed by the question.
Your father is
I did not follow that question.
yeah.
at all.
Your father is 6 inches deep or 4 inches deep in you, and you're 4 inches deep in your mom. Are you going forward or backwards to get out?
I forgot the numbers already.
Well, I hate to break it to you,
your dad,
Ethan.
or are you fucking your mom to get out?
I hate to break it to you, Ethan, but at the beginning of life, you come out of your mom to begin
Yeah,
with.
so you were already in her.
I don't want to come
You
in.
were already
Oh no!
in her.
Nobody said you had to finish.
Yeah. That wasn't part of your scenario.
That
No.
definitely was not part of your scenario.
That's true.
So
I guess if you're
going forward, moving forward, you you don't look back.
I wouldn't want to look back if there's a dick in my ass. Personally,
Oh man,
that
Why did it have to be parents?
right?
well,
Yeah.
it's because it makes it a tougher choice. You want to get fucked by your dad, or do you want to fuck your mom?
Definitely neither.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. But that's the point, though. That's the point.
It couldn't have been
My,
like,
my biggest question is, how the fuck did you get in that scenario to begin with?
yeah.
Like,
Ethan, do you still sleep with mommy and daddy?
I have no idea.
right in the middle,
Right in the middle.
between the two of them.
Yeah, I get. You know, when
Oh Jesus!
when it gets scary at night after listening to the podcast, I just gotta go crawl into bed and hopefully not get nightmares.
All
That's
right.
what I gotta do.
So, on that note, if you would like to watch a horror movie similar to the question we just asked, go watch Human Centipede.
That was
Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. That
Technically
movie,
horror.
technically.
that's a
It was on Netflix for a while.
Yeah, it was.
Why?
yeah. That's a
Netflix was just
Um,
fucking getting everything back then.
yeah.
I never saw the second one, and I only made it like halfway through the first movie.
I watched the first one all the way through.
How? How'd you get that far?
Did he watched it from the start to the finish?
yeah,
You
just the
could say.
centipede itself.
Reveal, and I'm done.
Yep, that exactly. That was a fucked up movie,
Yeah.
Pretty disgusting.
and the fact that they made 3 of them.
I didn't know there was a third.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I knew there was a second, and I knew I wasn't going to watch it. Didn't
Yeah.
know there was a third. I know for a fact I won't watch that one.
I did not watch the second one either, but I know that there's 3 of them.
Ugh.
It's the weird, trivial things that I know. It just
That's gross.
Like how many Sharknadoes there are.
6.
Somebody fact check him.
That's 5 too many. That's
Fuck you. You fucking fuck.
what?
When Sharknado goes to space, how could you turn that down?
No air, no gravity. That's how you turn that down.
They have little astronaut suits on the sharks.
What the fuck?
Of course they do.
No, I don't know. I'm just.
I was like,
throwing
who
that out there.
individually put
I'm like-
fucking a helmet on a shark and went, come here, little buddy.
This has to
They
be.
put it on themselves.
This has to be a testament to that movie series, because he just said some out of pocket shit and we believed him.
So that's how crazy those fucking movies are, though.
That's what makes them badass. It's like the Tremors movies.
The graboids, yeah.
Yeah. The farther along they go, the goofier they get. But
needs more Kevin Bacon.
They definitely need more Kevin Bacon.
Or just bacon in general.
Bacon's pretty good.
Bacon is pretty good.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
I meant the crispy bacon.
Oh, I'm Chris.
Crisp.
At least one spot.
Okay.
Viewers at home aren't even going to understand this segment.
No,
God.
nobody is really. They're all gonna skip past this, and it's okay if you skip past it and go straight to the stories.
True. We'll get into those.
Yeah, it's at some point. So, anyways, a good friend of ours did a shout out of us of our podcast on their little. I don't know that it's a podcast per se. They pre-record it, then they put it out to the haunt community.
Okay.
Those of you who don't know what I mean by haunt community, I mean like haunted house industry. It's a whole community.
Is it
people.
kind of like a little web series that they do?
Yeah, it's a web series called Haunt Hour. Their videos are on YouTube. You can look them up. And I'll try to pop up a quick little snippet of it or something on here. Yeah. So season 2, episode 2, about 11 and a half minutes into it, they bring us up. And he talks about us and talks about how some of our videos could be an inspiration to those in the haunt community who are possibly looking for more information on a certain monster or are looking for inspiration to build a costume of a monster or something. And so that felt really good, to know that we're potentially, in a weird roundabout way, kind of helping the haunt industry.
Has he watched an episode?
He has watched an episode. He actually watched the most recent episode prior to this one.
Right. I just ask because okay, I can understand from a productive side of view how we could be constructive maybe, but let's be honest, we derail a lot.
Oh, yeah. I think he's talking about the more informative side of
talking about the specific monsters, and stories,
like the
and stuff
public
like that.
monster. In fact, Troy said that he actually likes that name.
He likes licking
Public.
popes.
Yeah,
He's an advocate.
He's an advocate for licking popes. Oh, fucking hodag pope.
Not included.
You know,
So,
poke like that hodag.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, and the fact that they gave us a shout out, so we're kind of doing a little shameless plug
Hell
for
yeah.
Troy and them at Haunt Hour.
Yeah, go check them out. Go subscribe
Yeah.
to the channel. I believe it's on YouTube, right?
Yes, their channel's on YouTube.
Hell yeah. And I think they
If you're even interested in getting into the haunt industry, haunted houses, or anything like that, it'd be good to check it out. And they give a lot of tips and tricks, and they have guests that come on from various aspects of the haunt industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the guys that came on not that long ago was Alan Hops, which I know a lot of people don't know that name, but in the haunt industry, you know the name because he's a phenomenal mask maker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
He does a lot more than that, but that's the biggest part of what he's known for.
Oh,
That's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to say, all joking aside, this is a huge honor to be shouted out on another on another web series, we are super appreciative. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I agree. It's a big honor
Thank you, Troy.
to get recognized like that. So thanks, Troy.
Don't
we
they-
really appreciate, buddy.
Don't they also have a Facebook page?
They might. I know that when they do the haunt hour, the video gets flooded on multiple haunt platforms.
Yeah, that's
So
I remember you saying that in the different Facebook groups.
yeah, because the haunt industry is massive.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, it's massive, huge. And so there's multiple groups on Facebook, and each group kind of encompasses something different.
Okay.
Like there's some groups that are specific to those Home Depot 12-foot skeletons, and that their groups talk about nothing but that, like where to get replacement parts, costumes, just various ideas get thrown around about these 12-foot skeletons.
Shit.
And,
so,
there's just a lot of different groups like that.
so there's just a bunch of different things that you can join and learn and just
Yeah,
kind of collaborate with people with. Okay, that's
well, yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're looking to get into the haunt industry, I mean, one of the things I would do is check out the Facebook pages and check out the Northwest Haunters Association. Even if you're not in the Northwest,
Yeah.
if you go there, you can get in touch with people like Troy and a few others, and they can get you to help you get to the proper haunt community in your local area if you don't already know how to do so.
That's pretty badass.
You know, I mean, there's like Haunt Collective. They're kind of like a podcast. And they go and they just interview different people, and they talk to people at conventions and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, that's pretty badass.
So.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But thank you again, Troy. You badass, my dude.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So
Yeah. That was really nice of him.
and we've actually gained some listeners and subscribers from it.
Troy he's a really, really awesome, nice guy.
He really knows how to network.
Yeah, he does.
So, what do you got? Anything new going on? Any movies
I
you've
saw
seen?
I saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. And come on.
A little Bubba was not fucking I call him Bubba because of DVD. He was not the bad guy in that fucking movie. Like, he was not. Bunch of assholes come over to this dude's house, this lady's house. Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Gimme. Oh, sorry. It's been out for a few weeks now. I can say it. It's been out.
But if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and skip forward a few minutes.
Skip forward like 2 minutes.
Maybe 5.
Just depending.
Yeah.
But no, they knock on the door. Hey, like, this is.
Well, to be fair, they purchased the whole fucking town.
They purchased the whole town.
That house as well. So they were not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Technically,
they were not supposed to be there. They were fucking
Trespassing.
Yeah.
I would say squatters.
Oh.
More or less, because they were already living in the house, and they didn't know that it went to the bank and got sold.
But it didn't go to the bank and get sold. She had the deed to the house.
They never showed the deed.
Yeah, they did.
Where?
When the sister, the douchey sister, not the emo chick that got shot, when she went back into the house, I'm sorry, this is spoiler shit, but anyway, she goes back into the house and she's hiding, or when she's looking for shit, she opens up this jewelry box and there's the fucking deed. She finds it and she goes, oh fuck, and then she calls the other dude, and that's when he gets fucked.
But the paper deed, honestly, really, this day and age, paper deeds can.
Yeah, but that's
like,
because they
so,
thought
like,
they
if you-
had the deed, but they didn't.
But if you sell a house, or your car, right? You tear off the little piece at the bottom of your title and you turn that in, you still have the other fucking piece. Like, there could be multiple pieces of title to one vehicle.
Yeah, but that looked like a big piece.
Well, it's a full
Looked
paper.
important.
But you know what I'm saying, Techie Tech Guy, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean. This is
So-
coming from a guy who has not seen the movie, by the way. I don't know why you
Shit.
guys are even gesturing over to me. I have no.
I was
clue what you're
gesturing
talking
about the title thing.
I'm aware, but
Sorry.
like he's like talking about this piece of paper, and I'm like, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like.
My bad. I'm a dick now. Anyway,
So I mean,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
just because they had it at one point in time doesn't mean that they still retained ownership.
I feel like as a whole, this is
Because
a very
when you
small
don't-
part of the story.
When you don't pay your taxes,
well,
even if you outright own your home and you have the deed and you fail to pay your property taxes forever and ever, they can come in and seize your fucking house. You can still have that piece of paper, but the government seized your fucking house and resold it.
okay, well, but to be fair,
I'm
they
just
made
saying.
it seem like because the girl was like, "Oh fuck, we weren't supposed to
Well,
take the
because
house."
not everybody's that smart to understand how
Right.
those things work.
Yeah, but anyway, they made it seem like they fucked up, and and
Okay. All right.
but the kills were pretty badass.
The bus.
The bus was just funny. We're gonna cancel you.
Yeah, the whole
Fucking-
cancel culture thing came into play. It was fucking awesome. And I loved how they're all like live recording him and he's just fucking chopping everybody up.
And they go,
And you can see the comments in the videos. That's so cool. I want
That's
to go
fake.
to that park.
so fake.
That blood looks so real.
Yeah.
They all thought it was like some sort of theme park or some shit.
I mean, if it could be.
That was the best part of the movie, I think.
I don't think that was the original chainsaw, was it?
No.
No, it was a different chainsaw.
Yeah, different chainsaw. But
Yeah.
then one of the other complaints is that, if a chainsaw's been sitting in hiding inside a fucking wall
It
like
wasn't going to
that,
start up right away.
especially if it was the original gas that was in it when it was put in the fucking wall.
To be fair, he did take it and into the room and he was working on it.
Yeah, I think
So I think that's where they kind of like explain that a little
Yeah.
bit.
I know. I just some of the comments on YouTube.
It was
on
non-ethanol gas, clearly.
Just put some of that little starter in it. Just you know what I'm talking about, the shit that you put
Facebook.
inside
Little
the
nitro
gas.
fuel for your nitro cars.
Just
That's how it
going
started
gas.
up.
Oh shit. But no, I saw that, and I thought it was pretty good. There's this other movie that it looked pretty interesting. I didn't watch it, but Nick did. It was this movie about this chick who's trying to get to her mom. She gets stuck in like a snowstorm.
No
And
exit.
no exit.
No exit. That was good. That was a good movie.
I heard that
I
was a
enjoyed it.
really, really good movie.
Yeah, it was good.
So I would suggest watching that. I plan on to.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got a good twist to it, and yeah, really good.
Pretty kick ass. I've also been playing some new horror games too. I've been playing this game called Soma, and it's fucking oh god, I hate that game. There's like you go into like this doctor's office hoping to get like your psyche cured, and so you step in and you get transported into this other fucking place, and it's all like futuristic and everything like that, and apparently people are taking their minds and transferring over into like robotic technology.
Huh.
So like because the world ended.
Interesting.
So it's really fucking weird, and then like you find out you're a fucking cyborg basically, and it's I don't know, it's fucking freaky. You got creepy ass little animatronic things, and robots that supposedly feel pain. So,
Nice. Oh, speaking of horror games, there's a very particular one that is getting a Netflix, I believe it's Netflix, movie adaptation.
Ash the Evil Dead.
I'm not sure I'm following.
I don't.
Bioshock.
You're looking over to me. Okay.
Bioshock.
You looked over at
That's
me
why I was looking at
because
you.
you sent it to me.
Yes,
See, the thing is, I didn't watch it.
It's just a picture.
Oh, okay.
It's just a picture I
Yeah,
sent you. It's not a trailer or
I
anything.
thought you had sent me a trailer, and I hadn't
No.
watched it. And like,
No, it's just a
if it was a
picture.
trailer, it might have stuck in my head a little better. But yeah, okay. So yeah, Bioshock Netflix adaptation. Netflix, unfortunate that it's Netflix. Hopefully
I don't know.
they do a good
Netflix has
job
been
with it.
doing pretty decent with some of their movies.
I just worry video game adaptations in the past have known to go horribly, horribly wrong.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
But-
Netflix in particular has had a couple that have just bombed. I'm hoping that they do good on this one. It's supposed to be a movie, not a series.
I thought that's what I read.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe it's a series. I think a series would be better than a movie.
It would be hard to
because
cram
they could,
all of the
Yeah.
events into one movie.
yeah.
And, we've seen things even in series, such as like Cowboy Bebop, where they cut out huge portions of the story. And that's a series. I mean,
Yes, they did cut out a lot, yeah.
taking multiple games and shoving them into a single movie. I mean, I hope that they,
Yeah.
I'm just curious where they're going with it. I don't know if this is going to be from the perspective of the little girls, if it's going to be a perspective of, Big Daddy, or if it's going to be a perspective of the city as a whole. The regular citizens and stuff like
Right.
that, which we don't see a whole lot of in the game, not from the perspective of where it started.
And who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought that was interesting.
It'd be good. It'd be good.
Hopefully,
I'm gonna check it out regardless. And
yeah, give it a try.
I have one movie update though. I started seeing it around on Facebook and stuff that they have started saying when Terrifier 2 is coming out.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this October.
I kind of figured it was going to be this year.
Right.
Didn't they say if I don't know, this wasn't from an official source or anything, but I saw a post saying that it was Halloween. It was coming out on Halloween.
I don't know. The post I saw was not specific on a date. It just said
Okay.
October. So,
Like I said, not from an official source. I just read that it was coming out on Halloween, which, I mean, things on the internet get twisted and translated. in
I
different
would
ways
like
all
to
the
see
time.
it come out like at the beginning of October myself. Because
Yeah.
that gives people plenty of time to see it.
Yeah.
Super excited for the film. Super excited for the film. We loved Terrifier 1.
Oh,
So-
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we even had Art the Clown on the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. David Howard Thornton. Fantastic guest. That was before my introduction to the series, but
Great
yeah.
guy.
Pretty badass, honestly.
Yeah.
It was
And
an honor to meet him.
that was definitely our longest episode ever.
I think it was like a 3-hour episode. 2.5.
Yeah, 2 to 2.5, somewhere in there. It's so weird because I remember thinking that I was going to be nervous and kind of awkward about it. And it just kind of like, it flowed smoothly and we just like,
Because believe it or
chatting.
not, like unlike a lot of actors and like celebrities and stuff, dude's a human being,
yeah,
and he doesn't hide that fact.
No.
He's not too above himself. I think is like the catch that a lot of celebrities get into, where they reach this sort of level of fame where they feel almost like everybody else is below them.
Yeah, except for in the horror community.
I
mean,
have
there's
noticed.
probably a few in the horror community
Yeah.
that are like that, but for as a whole, the horror community for like actors.
Yeah. I've
from-
met a few of them. I've met a
that
few of them
they're-
in conventions and stuff like that, and I can say that from the ones that I have met, not a single one of them were stuck up.
Yeah, some of the nicest people.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so I had that, and
That was pretty badass. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's a few months away and then fucking...
fuck yeah.
Theater, though?
That part, no, I don't know, not theater, no.
Netflix?
I probably maybe.
Because
I
I know
don't-
Terrifier 1 was on Netflix.
Yeah, and I don't know any specifics on that. As it comes closer, I'm sure they'll be dropping more information about it.
Maybe
But
a
I
trailer.
know that initially they had said something about it being long.
Yeah.
And to keep as much of the movie intact as possible, they couldn't do theaters because that was it MPAA, Motion Picture Association or whatever it is. You know how they got the rating system and stuff, which is great. Keeps little kids from seeing things that they shouldn't see.
Yeah.
But they ask you to edit a lot of stuff usually.
I can think of a certain kill in the first movie that probably would not have made it to theaters.
Correct. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was. I'm down to see that. I'm so excited.
But speaking of conventions, everything's starting to open up again, and conventions are starting to happen. Crypticon's happening this year.
Hopefully.
Crypticon Seattle.
Hopefully.
It's out there.
I hope so, because I remember, what was it, 2 years ago?
It's out there, and they've got a pretty good guest list.
Yeah, we unfortunately we have seen, conventions be announced and everything, and then they have a good guest list, and then close to the time when the Delta variant came out, we had a lot of cancellations last minute, which actually stopped us from going to a convention.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that we wanted to see backed out last minute. So
right.
we're hoping that,
if things keep going the way they're going, I mean, things are opening up.
As long as it stays consistent where it's headed right now, no issues should arise. And honestly, a lot of those guys, I'm sure, are excited to get back to it.
From what I've been seeing on some of because I follow different ones on Facebook, they all seem genuinely excited to be getting back to conventions.
That's good. That's what we want to hear from the community.
But, the guy who does the voice of the Crypt Keeper is coming. He was supposed to come a couple years ago, and then COVID happened and all that. So he's there. Christina Leese is going to be there. She played in Child's Play 2 and in the Chucky TV series. The actor who played Andy in the Child's Play series, he's gonna be there. Can't remember her name. Her dad is Brad Dourif.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think her name's Fiona. I'd have to look it up, but she's gonna be there as well. So you got the Chucky trio going on there.
Yeah.
And speaking of trios, the Cheeto Brothers are gonna be there.
The Cheeto Brothers?
Creators of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We have a resident super fan for
I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. As a little kid, you look at it now and the movie's just campy, silly fun. But as a little kid, that movie actually scared me.
Really?
Well, fuck, I mean, a little kid, like
that's fair. That's fair.
7 or 8,
Oh, this could lead into an interesting segue. What was everybody's first horror movie?
I think my first.
No, mine.
I know it was at my house.
Was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember
because you're
the one I'm thinking of. I don't think
wouldn't let you watch horror movies for the longest time.
I keep on wanting to say The Grudge. I think
that sounds pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was The Ring or
The Grudge.
It was one of those two.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't remember.
I know what mine is because mine is Pet Sematary. Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Great movie.
So my parents had this shelf of VHSs. Yes, I know. We're living in the past. And it was just sort of go pick a movie. That's, play a movie as long as you put it back, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, you just grab one off the shelf and play it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Pet Sematary was one of those that I've revolved back to time and time again. Absolutely adore that movie, and that was my first real horror experience next to the Wishmaster.
Ooh, good series too.
Wishmaster's pretty good.
Mine would have to be Jaws 3.
The third one specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
And I remember it because in the third one it's at the theme park, the underwater tubes and everything. Yeah. Yep. I don't remember how old. I was really young. We were a family friend was babysitting my older sister and I, and she picked out the movie.
Kids love sharks. This one will be perfect.
No, it was your mother.
Oh God.
Yeah. And she picked it out, and she picked out Jaws 3, and that's what we watched.
Were you scared of the water afterwards?
No.
I hear a lot of people had that fear because
after the
of
first
that
one,
movie.
yes.
Yeah.
After the first one, yeah.
It's a very real thing. People watch horror movies, see certain concepts.
Like being afraid of the dark.
Yeah, being scared of the dark, being scared of water. I mean,
yeah.
The shower.
Tremors, I'm sure, would make you terrified of like earthquakes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Telephones.
Oh,
well,
shit, yeah.
I happen to have a random horror fact. Are you?
I am ready.
You guys ready for this?
About time.
All right. So this week's random horror fact is we're going to be talking about the Howling, and at some point in time in life, the pictures would be up. So some technical difficulties here. Our techie tech guy had to step out for a second. Yeah, this is interesting. Sorry, people. Anyways, The Howling was one of the first and many werewolf movies released during the 80s. Along with An American Werewolf in London, it is recognized as one of the greatest and innovative horror films of the decade. Its special effects by Bob Boughton and his crew, while overseen by Rick Baker, revolutionized practical effects and set the new standard that other films are still attempting to achieve in CGI. The movie is also noted for its compelling and chilling performances from the likes of Dee Wallace as Karen, Robert Picardo as Eddie, and Belinda Balaski as Terry. One of the biggest pushes from the studio was to feature more nudity. Wallace had it in her contract that there would be no additional nudity, with there already being a sex scene in the movie. Needless to say, Wallace was not thrilled when she came to film the barn scene and saw a clad of naked women in the rafters. Wallace refused to shoot the scene as part from a breach of her contract, and she also felt it looked really ridiculous. The producer, Mike Fennell, was called to ease the situation. He arrived on set, fuming, and stormed in. Yet, after one look at the women, he said, "She's right. It's stupid. Put some fucking clothes on." After Wallace was cast as Karen, they were still auditioning actors to portray her spouse. Wallace knew they would not read her then fiance if they knew they were together, so she mentioned knowing the actor named Christopher Stone from Cujo and left out their exact relationship. They auditioned him and later cast him for the part. One of the producers called to inform Stone, and when Wallace picked up, the producer apologized, thinking he must have dialed the wrong number, and was going to let her go. And she's like, no, you got the number right. You called the right place. After a long pause and everything started clicking, to which the producer was in disbelief.
Oh, well. Dude, that's pretty great. I love those movies so much.
I love those movies. Those werewolf movies.
Yeah, The Howling's the shit,
The Howling
dude.
series was amazing.
Oh, 100%.
And Dee Wallace, great actress.
Dee Wallace. Chef Kiss.
She did that. She did E.T. Tons of stuff. I can't. Got brain fog, so having a
you're
hard
good.
time thinking of the other movies she's in.
Well, you're our horror encyclopedia, so don't feel bad. You have like 80% of the show's knowledge.
And then also I met Dee Wallace actually at a convention, Mad Monster Party in Arizona a few years back.
I remember you going to that.
And she was so awesome to meet and talk to, and we talked to her about not just about horror, but animals. Like, it's so weird, right? We talk about our dogs and stuff. Yeah, it was cool. Really cool lady.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm jealous.
It's nice to connect on stuff like that, though, because, like, you know, again, it goes back to that, like, human level. Everybody's human.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, just like at the same convention I'd met God damn son of a bitch, I can't remember his name now off the top of my head, from X-Files.
Oh, you're talking about
Skinner. The actor who played Skinner. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but which actually is funny because the story he told us when he was signing our picture and stuff, he told us the story about how his wife went with him on a movie shoot or whatever, and she got into the elevator with another actor, one that she admired.
Yeah.
And she totally fangirled. And when she was talking to him, she's like, "Yeah, I'm here with my husband." And she totally forgot her husband's name.
That's fucking great.
And he was like, "We've been married for quite some time at that point, too."
Oh my god.
Mitch Pileggi.
Oh shit, yeah.
It just takes time.
You were
sometimes.
like, "Winner!" I fucking found it.
Ding, ding, ding. It's a big encyclopedia up there to go through.
Shit. That was under the M's, right?
Yes. So you got ways to go.
Go through A through M.
Yep.
There's a lot of names.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
That's pretty badass. I like
Really
that
cool.
though. That was a good horror fact.
Yeah.
God, I love those.
How many stories you got for us
I
today?
got one big ass story for you.
Just one?
It's very
Just
detailed.
one?
Very
Okay.
detailed.
Awesome. I have 2.
So what
I
you're
have
saying
2.
is it's one story, but it's half the building.
Half the fucking I don't know.
Jesus.
The big building.
I got 2 stories. So
Yeah, a 2-story building.
around the same. They're the same entity.
Oh shit.
So
All right. All right.
so I guess let's hand it on over to you.
Oh, we're going for me. Oh, by the way, I don't have pictures this week. So
Again.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Damn. I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna start making you add
Just-
your pictures in post. That's a pain in the ass.
Just like, you know, the great demon. You can't see my pictures. So that's what we're going with, and that's at least my excuse. So this is the Exorcisms of Latoya Almonds. And this very, very detailed story goes: a woman and 3 children who claim to be possessed by demons, a 9-year-old boy walking backward up a wall, and the presence of a family case manager and hospital nurse. Gary Police Captain Charles Austin said it was the strangest story he had ever heard. Austin, a 36-year-old veteran of the Gary Police Department, said he initially thought Indianapolis resident Latoya Almonds and her family concocted an elaborate tale as a way to make money. But after several visits to their home and interviews with witnesses, Austin said simply, "I am a believer." Not everyone involved with the family was inclined to believe its incredible story, and many readers will find Almond's supernatural claims impossible to accept. But whatever the cause of the creepy occurrences that befell the family, whether they were seized by the systematic delusion or the demonic possession, it led to one of the most unusual cases ever handled by the Department of Child Services. Many of the events are detailed in nearly 800 pages of official records obtained by the Indianapolis Star and recounted in more than a dozen interviews with police, DCS personnel, and psychologists, family members, and Catholic priests. I think I said that wrong. Not the priest, but the psychologists. Oh, I know I didn't. I said that right. I'm dumb. Woo. Anyways, Almonds, who swears by her story, has been unusually open while she spoke on condition her children not be interviewed or named. She signed releases letting the Star review medical, psychological, and official records that are not open to the public and not always flattering. Furthermore, the family story is made only more bizarre because it involves DCS intervention, a string of psychological evaluations, a police investigation, and ultimately a series of exorcisms. It's a tale, they say, that started with flies. In November 2011, Amon's family moved into a rental house on Carolina Street in Gary, a quiet lane lined with one small story home. Big black flies suddenly swarmed their screened-in porch in December despite the winter chill. This is not normal, Almond's mother, Rosa Campbell, remembers thinking. We killed them and killed them and killed them, but they kept coming back. There were other strange happenings too. After midnight, Campbell and Almonds both said that they occasionally heard the steady clump of footsteps climbing the basement stairs and creak of the door opening between the basement and the kitchen. No one was there. Even after they locked the door, the noise continued. Campbell said she awoke one night and saw a shadowy figure of a man pacing her living room. She leaped out of bed to investigate and found large, wet bow. It was about 2 a.m. Normally, Campbell, Almonds, and her children would have been asleep, but they were mourning the death of a loved one with a group of friends. Almonds, who was in Campbell's bedroom, startled everyone by screaming, "Mama, Mama!" Campbell said she ran into her bedroom where her then 12-year-old granddaughter and friend were staying. On March 10, 2012, Campbell said the family's unease turned to fear. Almonds and Campbell said the 12-year-old was levitating above the bed, unconscious. According to the account of events, Almonds and several others surrounded the girl, praying. Campbell said she remembers being terrified. "I thought, what's going on?" Campbell said. "Why is this happening?" Eventually, Campbell said her granddaughter descended onto the bed. The girl woke up with no memory of what happened. Campbell said... Campbell and Almonds said the people who were visiting that night refused to return. She remembers telling her daughter, "We need help. We need to talk to someone who knows how to deal with it." They said they didn't know exactly what it was, but they believed it was something supernatural. They called local churches, but most refused to listen. Eventually, after listening to them talk about the house and visiting it, officials at one church told them the Carolina Street house had spirits in it. They recommended the family clean the home with bleach and ammonia. They used oil to draw the crosses on every door and window. At the church's suggestion, Amon said she poured olive oil on her 3 children's hands and feet, then smeared oil in the shape of crosses on their foreheads. Campbell and Amons also told the Star that they reached out to 2 clairvoyants who said that the family home was besieged by more than 200 demons. Their explanation made sense to Campbell and Amons. They said because it meshed with their Christian faith. The best thing you could do is move, Amons remembers the clairvoyants telling her, but moving wasn't an option for the cash-strapped family. Instead, Amons said she took a clairvoyant's advice and made an altar in the basement. Amons covered an end table with a white sheet, then placed a white candle on the statue of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus on it. She opened a Bible to Psalms 91. She said she and another person donned white t-shirts and wound white scarves around their necks, around their heads. Sorry. Also, on a clairvoyant's advice, they burned sage and sulfur throughout the house, starting upstairs and working their way down. The smoke was so thick that they could hardly breathe. Amons drew a cross with the smoke. The person she was with read Psalm 91 aloud as they moved through the house. "You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday." Amon said nothing odd happened there for 3 days. Then things got worse. The family said demons possessed Amons and her children, then ages 7, 9, and 12, the kids' eyes bulged, evil smiles crossed their faces, their voices deepened every time it happened. Campbell said the demons didn't affect her because she was born with protection from evil. She said she and others like her have a guardian who protects them. Almonds said she felt weak, lightheaded, warm when she was possessed. Her body shook, and she said she felt out of control. You can tell it's different, something supernatural, the youngest boy. Then 7 sat in the closet talking to a boy that no one else could see. The other boy was describing what it felt like to be killed. Campbell said the 7-year-old once flew out the bathroom as if he'd been thrown, and a headboard once smacked into Almonds' daughter, causing a wound that needed stitches. The 12-year-old would later tell mental health professionals that she sometimes felt as if she was being choked and held down so she couldn't speak or move. She said she heard a voice say she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live for another 20 minutes. Some nights were so bad the family slept at a hotel. Finally, in desperation, they went to their family physician, Dr. Jeffrey. On April 19, 2012, Almonds said she told him what they were going through, hoping he might understand. Jeffrey told the Star it was bizarre. 20 years and I've never heard of anything like that in my life, he said. I was scared myself when I walked into the room. He said he would not speak in more detail unless Almonds had psychiatric clearance for the waiver of confidentiality she had signed. In his medical notes about the visit, Jeffrey wrote delusions of ghost in home and hallucinations. He also wrote history of ghost at home and delusional. What Almonds and Campbell had said happened next was detailed in DCS's report of family case managers' interviews with medical staff. Chaos erupted. Campbell said Almonds' sons cursed Jeffrey and demonic voices raging at him. Medical staff said that the youngest boy was lifted and thrown into the wall with nobody touching him. According to DCS's report, the boys abruptly passed out and wouldn't come to. Campbell added she cradled one boy in her arms. Almonds held the other. Someone from the doctor's office called 911. Jeffrey said 7 or 8 police officers and multiple ambulances showed up. They couldn't figure out what exactly was happening, he recalled. Police and emergency personnel took the boys to the Methodist Hospital's campus in Gary. Almonds said hospital personnel laughed at her desire to anoint her sons in olive oil. I couldn't talk to them, she said, so I talked to God. The boys woke up in the hospital. The older boy, 9, acted rationally, but the youngest screamed and thrashed, Campbell said. She said it took 5 men to hold him down. Meanwhile, someone called DCS and asked the agency to investigate Almonds for possible child abuse or neglect. The caller, who is named in the DCS report, speculated that Almonds might have had a mental illness. The person believed that the children were performing for Almonds and she was encouraging their behavior. DCS family case manager Valerie Washington was asked to handle the initial investigation. She gave the following account to the police and in her intake officer's report. Hospital personnel examined Almonds and her children and found them to be healthy and free of marks or bruises. A hospital psychiatrist evaluated Almonds, determined she was of sound mind. Washington interviewed the family in the hospital. While she spoke with Almonds, the 7-year-old boy started growling with his teeth showing. His eyes rolled back to his head. The boy locked his hands around his older brother's throat and refused to let go until adults pried his hands open. Later that evening, Washington and registered nurse Willie Lee Walker brought the 2 boys into a small exam room for an interview. Campbell joined them. The 7-year-old stared into his brother's eyes and began to growl again. "It's time to die," the boy said in a deep, unnatural voice. "I will kill you." While the youngest boy spoke, the older boy started headbutting Campbell in the stomach. Campbell grabbed her grandson's hands and started praying. What happened next would rattle the witnesses, and some of it would offer not only evidence but proof of paranormal activity. According to Washington's original DCS report, an account corroborated by Walker, the nurse The 9-year-old had a weird grin and walked backward up a wall to the ceiling. He then flipped over Campbell, landing on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hand. He walked up the wall, flipped over her, and stood there, Walker told the Star. There's no way he could have done that. Later, police asked Washington whether the boy had run up the wall as though performing an acrobatic trick. No, Washington told them. She said the boy glided backward on the floor, wall, and ceiling, according to a police report. Washington did not respond to the Star's request for comment, but she told police that she was scared when it happened and ran out of the room. As for Walker, Washington said he ran out of the room with me. We didn't know what was going on, Walker even told the Star. That was crazy. It was like, I gotta go. According to Washington's report, they told the doctor what happened. The doctor, who did not believe them, asked the boy to walk up the wall again. Walker said that he told the doctor he doubted the boy could repeat the feat. This kid was not himself when he did that, Walker said. The boy said he didn't remember what happened and couldn't do it, according to Washington's report. Walker, who said he previously believed in demons and spirits, thought the boy's behavior had some demonic spirit to it, but also was the result of mental illness. A report quoted by Washington saying she believed there could be an evil influence affecting the family. Almonds said she spent the night at the hospital with her 7-year-old son, while Campbell took Almonds' daughter and older son to a relative's home in Gary. The next day was Almonds' youngest son's birthday, 8th birthday. Almonds said DCS's officials asked Campbell to bring the older children back to the hospital, presumably to talk more about what happened. The family celebrated the boy's birthday by singing and eating a miniature cake. Then Almonds said Washington told them the children wouldn't be going home. DCS took the emergency step of taking custody of the children without a court order. All of the children were experiencing spiritual and emotional distress, Washington wrote in the DCS form. Almonds told the Star she and her children cried because they didn't want to be separated. We'd already been through so much and fought so hard for our lives, she recalled. It was obvious we were a team and we were beating it. Whatever we were fighting, we made it through together as a team, and they separated us. The Reverend Michael Magnet was leading Bible study in his living room the morning April 20, 2012. He received a call from a hospital chaplain. Magnet had been the priest at St. Stephen in Maryville for more than 10 years, but had never received a request like this one. The chaplain asked him to perform an exorcism on Almonds' 9-year-old son. Magnet agreed to interview the family after Sunday Mass a few days later. The first step, Magnet said, was ruling out natural causes for what Almonds and her family said they were experiencing. He visited Almonds and Campbell in Carolina Street home April 22nd, 2012. For 2 hours, Almonds and Campbell detailed the phenomena for him. Then Campbell interrupted the interview to point out the flickering bathroom light. The flickering light stopped each time Magnet walked over to investigate, which he attributed to be demonic presence. It must be scared of me, he told the Star he had thought. The interview was interrupted again when Campbell pointed out the Venetian blinds in the kitchen swinging even though that there was no air current. Magnet said he also saw wet footprints throughout the living room. Almonds complained about having a headache. Magnet said she convulsed when he placed a crucifix against her head. After a 4-hour interview, Magnet said he was convinced the family was being tormented by demons. He said he also believed that there were ghosts in the house. Magnet blessed the house before he left, praying, reading from the Bible, and sprinkling holy water in each room. He told Almonds and Campbell to leave because it wasn't safe, that they temporarily moved in with a relative. But less than a week later, the two women were back on Carolina Street to let Washington, the DCS family case manager, check the condition of the home. Washington asked a Lake County police officer to come with her. 2 other officers, one each from Gary and Hammond, Police departments asked to join them out of professional curiosity. Almonds refused to go inside, but Campbell agreed to accompany the group. Almonds' kids still were in DCS custody, and the main floor had 3 bedrooms, a living room, 1 bathroom, hardwood floors, and a small open-style kitchen. A door in the kitchen led to the basement with concrete floors. Directly under the stairs was a dirt floor. The concrete around it was jagged, as though it had been broken. The makeshift altar Almonds had created was still in place along the rings of the salt she had poured against the basement walls to dissuade the demons, according to Hammond Police Department report. Campbell told officers that demons seemed to emanate from beneath the stairs. Austin, the Gary police captain, was one of those officers. He later told the Star believed in ghosts and the supernatural, but he said he didn't believe in demons. Austin said he changed his mind after visiting the Carolina Street house. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's quite a lot to the story, which is absolutely insane.
Did he like moonwalk up the wall?
Oh,
That's what I was asking. I want to know.
He like slid up the wall.
Yeah, you ever see somebody moonwalk? It looks like they're
gliding-
just gliding too.
So gliding, saying gliding makes me think that his feet and legs were still the whole time.
Yeah,
And so he
I figured.
essentially skated on the wall. I know that you know this, but Ethex might not know this. I am a non-believer.
Shun the non-believer.
Shun.
Yeah, I'm a non-believer in the paranormal. That's one of the reasons why we want to go on that trip.
The land of pencils. We gotta go see some haunted pencils.
Yeah, because I think it'd be really interesting to see the double perspective there.
Yes.
From somebody who does believe and somebody that does not.
I
agree with that.
Yeah, I think it should be a podcast trip.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
Where was that at again? I can't.
The land, of pencils.
I know, but where?
Pennsylvania? The land
The
of
United
pencil?
States?
Oh, Pennsylvania.
The land of pencils.
Yeah.
Where did you think the land of pencils was?
Yeah, I really want to know. Because everybody else that we've said the land of pencils
If
to
you
is
guys
like,
really-
Pennsylvania.
If you guys really want to know what popped into my head was like just don't
we
laugh.
kind of
Okay?
want to know,
No,
but we don't at the same
don't
time.
laugh at me, but it was like just like a fucking I don't know, like a trail and like pencils, giant pencils sticking out of the ground.
I would go to that still.
Yeah.
Like really.
Sounded really fucking cool,
Yeah.
and I was like, all
like
right.
little houses made out of big pencils.
No,
Yeah.
okay. So
okay.
since you haven't been filled in clearly, no,
I thought he was.
The inspiration for Silent Hill is in Pennsylvania, and we want to go
The
to
real
that.
life town.
It's considered one of the most haunted places in America.
Really?
Yes.
So I think that it would be a really fun trip for us to go on.
The town has been so abandoned. I mean, there's still some people that live there. Last time I looked, I don't know how old the article was that when I read, but the town lost its zip code.
Jesus
So it's not even a
Christ.
fucking town anymore.
So is there like
Because
poltergeist type
there's,
activity?
From
So,
what
like,
I've
in-
read, it wasn't. I didn't see anything in Super. I know part of it is the fumes.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
fumes make it considered uninhabitable, and that's
Yeah.
why they revoked the zip code, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should be a fun place.
We need,
Yeah.
we need to find us a poltergeist house too.
We do. I'm starting to buy ghost hunting equipment.
I know. I've seen that.
Because I believe to some degree. I do believe in all of it, but I'm skeptical at the same time. And so, like, I just really want to go and experience it.
No,
I mean, I've had some experiences.
Yeah.
But I want more.
I want more.
I'm a man of explanation. I'm
I
a
feel
man where like every single
Science.
thing, everything has an not.
But
And I don't.
when-
And I don't think ghosts are that explanation.
But when-
Before the comments attack me.
But when something happens and you can logically look at it, and there's no physical way that you can explain how it happened. So where I'm going with this is like when we were in New Orleans, and we stayed in the most haunted mansion there, without knowing it when we booked the room.
Right.
Because I was like, I want to sleep. I don't want somebody just fucking with me.
Right.
Wife went to the bathroom, and it had like these giant, like 10-foot tall fucking doors, double doors, and you'd shut it, and it had the little hook with the eyelet latch.
Yeah.
There's no way you can fake that going tink. They don't just go tink on their own and unlatch.
Negative polarity magnet.
It would have to be super close to make that happen.
You just said that there's real estate on the doors. The doors are,
okay, so
in your words, giant. Humongous.
But you would have to have wires to get to the magnet, to activate the magnet.
Sure.
And I investigated that.
So you tore apart the door.
As an electrician, I know all the different little ways there are to hide wires.
So you tore apart the door.
Well, you wouldn't even have to tear apart the door. It would just have to be the hook, the latch that you just have to fuck with enough.
I'm just saying.
Okay. We've also had this conversation. Almost not with the exact same story, but we have had this conversation, and I hate being like, I don't believe you, because it makes me sound like I'm being like, liar.
No, and like what we've talked about before, seeing is believing.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for me.
Or hearing or whatever. So if you haven't experienced it, it is definitely harder to like be like, believe in it.
Because I also believe in, like the human brain plays a lot of tricks.
Oh yeah. It does.
Unfortunately.
It does. And that's where, like, hearing stuff, just
it can lose its mysticism.
Your brain playing tricks on you sometimes. Yeah. Yes. And that's why a lot of times, especially if you're in a group and you're in a haunted location, you hear something, you really shouldn't mention it.
Right. Because
then somebody else is
paranoia,
like, yeah,
that's it.
I heard that too.
Paranoia sets in. Yeah, no, that's like we said, but this is part of why this trip could be an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be two people from opposite sides of the spectrum. Because Lord knows we're all autistic. And we're going to be experiencing, possibly haunted things.
Yeah. I'm hoping so. Yeah. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
You can't stay in the town,
but
you can stay close by.
It'll be good.
That should be really fun.
Yeah. But, I mean, like I said, the little hook latch, it's really hard to manipulate that.
Yeah. Well, I have my thoughts, but I'll keep them to myself. Otherwise, this episode's going to be 3 hours long.
That's fair. All right. Well, what do you got for us today?
Well, what I've got is a callback to our very first episode. We're going to be talking about some black-eyed kids. Woo! Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a good black-eyed kid story. And I have 2 of them for you. This one is titled Black-Eyed Kid Encounter. Last night was like any other night. I was switching between listening to music and watching YouTube videos, with one headphone in so I could hear my infant daughter as she cries. That way my wife can get a full night's sleep. When I decided to go lay down on the spare bed in the baby's room, just as I dozed off, I heard thumping coming from the front porch. Startled at first, I opened my eyes wide to scan the room. Realizing it was most likely the cat scratching himself on the front porch, I dozed back off. Then again, the thumping. Damn it, cat! I got out of bed to run him off the porch, only to see he wasn't there anymore. Now that I was up again, I wasn't a bit least tired. Oh, bleh, sorry. I figured I'll just get some tea and check Facebook while I'm up. maybe finish the web series I was watching on YouTube. A few minutes later, into the video, I felt a sudden urge to look up at the kitchen window. There they were. The tops of two short-statured people's heads cresting the stairs just above my window frame. The people were short enough not to see in the window, but I could see out. I heard no footsteps on my porch as my stomach churned, but the knock was a steady, hollow thump, thump, thump. The very same thump I had just blamed on my cat. Deciding it was best not to answer, I shut my laptop and crept up to the back door. I assumed it was just some people from the low-income housing across the street. So I was just, they were high or hiding from the cops maybe. Or looking for my cousin that stays with me on and off. The last thing I needed was to try to explain to two stoners that I was trying to sleep even though it was 2 a.m. It wasn't until I got to my daughter's room that the creepiness set in. The thump had moved from the kitchen to the bedroom windows. Both windows. A room apart, thumping in perfect time. These stoners were going to wake up my daughter if I didn't stop all the noise. Pissed off, I went out to the kitchen, unlocked and opened the door, ready to run around to the side of the house and kick some little idiot's ass. It happened then. Standing there, looking up at me, were two 10 or 11-year-old boys. The feeling of dread, that smell of mold, almost made me vomit. The smaller of the two then spoke. "May we use your telegraph?" What? I just stared blankly back at these boys, horrified, and then realized their eyes were pitch black. He asked again to use my telegraph. There wasn't a loud sound to be heard, no crickets chirping, no dogs barking, no cars driving by. Nothing. Absolute silence. I tried to play it cool and ignore the fact that they didn't say telephone, phone, or cell. Anything that would have made sense in the situation, and calmly replied, "I don't have service at my house. Sorry." The expressions on their faces turned to rage as I finished my sentence. Swiftly, I shut the door and locked it as quickly as I could, then stumbled back to protect my daughter. I picked her up from her crib and held her close. The fact that she didn't wake up freaked me out, but I managed to gather my senses enough to make sure she was still breathing and warm. Everything seemed okay with her. Thumping on the windows came back. I dropped to the floor as close to the wall as I could and held my little girl in my arms and wept like a little child. Feeling helpless and afraid, I lied there for what felt like hours and hours, crying and shaking until I heard it, my wife's alarm clock. The thumping stopped the instant the alarm went off. I crept into the master bedroom with the baby. What's wrong with you?" my wife asked. "I just had a bad dream is all." "Okay, well, give me the baby so I can feed her before work." I handed my wife the baby, and she fed her like any normal day. I turned on every light in the house and made coffee for her. For some reason, just having her awake calmed my nerves enough to pretend like nothing happened. I walked her out to her car nervously with my baby in the arms. I asked her not to leave until I walked back into the house. She was put off by the request, but did so to humor me. Once I was safely in the house, I locked the door again. And in the house, I sat horrified until she got home. I insisted we go to the next town over and stay the weekend at my brother's house. And here I sit horrified while she sleeps in the guest room with my daughter, wondering why they stopped when the alarm went off. I will probably never know that answer. I was aware of black-eyed kids. She wasn't. Every story I've read about them is from someone who already knew about them. Maybe, just maybe, knowing that they exist is the only reason they visit.
God damn.
This.
Fuck.
So, talking back on an earlier subject.
Could have sworn I saw it.
So, talking back on an earlier subject about our belief and non-belief, I really want to do like a section in the podcast one of these days. Doesn't have to be next episode or the episode after that even, but I would love to do an episode where I do 2 or 3 stories, and one of them is one that I've written.
Oh man, sorry. I think that's a great idea. I wasn't laughing because it made me remember. It reminded me of a segment that we did, 2 Truths and a Lie.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, where he would find 2 real facts and then he would make up a fact, and I had to figure out which one was which.
Yeah, but I'm talking
but
whole stories.
That's kind of that's cool
because these stories are told from a character perspective.
I
mean,
I think that's a great idea.
Whether they're true or not, that's to be determined, to be believed or not believed.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be cool.
What did you think about how he reacted?
Smart.
Right?
I
mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Pretty quick thinking. And, the fact that he said that he had knowledge of what black-eyed kids were prior to that incident.
Yeah.
And it was also the detail of how he felt before answering the door.
Yeah, right?
A lot of those stories really have those similar answers where they feel queasy, they feel nauseous, they feel...
The smell of mold, that was interesting. That's the first story that I've read that had that.
Yeah, that was the first one that I've read about that.
And the smell of mold would make me very nauseous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mold
definitely.
has a very strong smell. Also, a telegraph.
Right? That's the thing that makes the black-eyed kids stand out so much, that you could tell, okay, something's really off. It's because they asked to use something that's ancient technology.
I don't know why.
Or old terminology. I have a theory.
Well, no. I wasn't going to say
outhouse. That. What the fuck is an outhouse, you little shit?
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, I don't know why, but in my head, they all have British accents.
Hello, good sir.
Sometimes in mine, too,
May I use your telegraph?
That's a good one.
I'm going to run up the stairs, just...
God damn it, here it comes again.
I'm going!
We're rewinding to episode 1. This is episode
this is exactly
1
what
ethics.
I knew was going to happen, is that
exactly.
he was going to bring up jerking off on the black-eyed kids again.
Yep,
How would they
way.
react, really, though?
What are you going to do about it if I just whip my dick out and I piss on you? What if I just got done drinking a gallon of Gatorade?
Sir, can we use your telegraph?
Take this! Oh, weakness! You were wrong!
Like, I don't know, my theory, I don't know if I've told you this, Techie Tech guy, but that they're vampires.
You told the podcast once upon a time.
Yeah, the podcast, but didn't know if you'd...
In episode 1.
I didn't know if you'd seen that
about it.
or heard it or not.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes, and then I was on the podcast.
Oh, God.
Just
the first 3 are like some of the worst.
Yeah, so if anybody hasn't seen
it gets better.
Go back and watch our first episode, and then you can see the improvement. It'll make us look so much better if you just go back and watch a couple episodes from the very beginning.
Yes. Yeah, if you go and watch the very first episode and then watch this one, yeah.
From audio quality to video quality to all of it.
Shh.
Considering there was no video.
The first episode we shared a mic.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
We were really
like
close.
I said, I watched 3 episodes. I was like, I
was
kind
on
of
one
like
side
this.
and he was on the other side, just talking back and forth.
Hey.
Little ASMR voice.
Ooh. Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah. So I watched 3 episodes and then I was a part of it. Chase your dreams, kids.
Yeah.
Or come on.
Or you just get dragged on.
Yeah. I'm just gonna piss on all those kids.
All right, well, I have one more. After researching black-eyed kids, one shows up at his door. I live in rural Vermont, and I'm an amateur author. It's my hobby, you could say, but I've been interested in black-eyed kids for quite some time and wanted to write a book about it. However, I've been doing some research on them for a little while now. And about 2 nights ago, my wife and I were woken by a knock at the front door at about 2:40 a.m. It was a pretty loud knock. Not smashing, but just loud thuds and threes. I told my wife I'll go downstairs and check it out. However, when I got closer to the door, I had an odd sensation of fear come over me. It was a very strange feeling that I can't really explain. I hesitated for a moment, 10 seconds or so, but then I bucked up and opened the door, and to my surprise, it was just a kid. At first, I thought it was the neighbor's kid who lives down the street. He's around that age, 13 or 14. He had his head down and was wearing a dark gray hoodie. I asked him, kind of angrily, what he wanted. He then continued to stand there and say nothing. I then raised my voice and said his name. And that's when he looked up at me. I don't believe I've ever felt fear like that before in my life. His eyes were completely black, not to mention his pale skin. I slammed the door in his face and locked the deadbolt. It was definitely not the neighbor's son. I then proceeded to run back upstairs right by my wife to get to the window to see if I could see him out there. But he was just gone. Nowhere to be seen.
God damn. What happens if you just, like, instead of inviting them into your house, you just fucking tackle the little bastard and you just boom, 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 just start beating the shit out of it, and your neighbor says, what the fuck are you doing? That's your neighbor's kid. Be like, no, it's not him. And just beating the shit out of it.
See, this one's weird too, because it usually starts with dialogue, right? They're usually like, hey, can I come in and use your etc., etc. And this time, silence.
Yeah,
it's their new sales tactic.
It hasn't been working. Asking for their telegraphs. We need another outlook,
another tactic here.
Stonewall them.
But yeah, it just like holy fuck.
Silent treatment. It works on my wife.
Oh shit. Oh boy.
But I mean, in both cases, these guys were fairly smart. And then obviously this one kind of ties back around to that first one about how the guy was saying that, you know, maybe knowing of the black-eyed kids and looking into them brings them about.
All right,
well, just like they have said about shadow people.
Let's do our research.
By, you know, talking about them, actively talking about shadow people all the time and looking for them and stuff, almost like opens the window and lets them in, kind of thing.
Okay, come on, black-eyed children, you listening?
Oh God, no!
No, come to this house. Come to this house. Come to my house.
It's gonna be like To Catch a Predator. Only it's gonna be a black-eyed kid and Ethan.
Yeah, it'll be great. Also, I have a question.
Fucking Chris Hansen coming in. I'm sorry.
I have a question, right? So, does for a black-eyed kid to visit you, does it have to be at your house?
No. They can visit you in a parking lot asking for a car ride. It's not always at a house. In fact, if I remember right, episode 1, season 1, we discussed the story about how a black-eyed kid two black-eyed kids approached a guy at his car asking for a ride.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
I do. I mean, obviously, it's been a while since I listened to it, but I remember there was one where that they had been watching him for a while at the bus stop.
Yes, the bus stop one. That one. Yeah. That one was really creepy.
Yeah.
The bus stop.
I remember that. But it seemed like they only actually approached him at his house. So that's why I was like, is it specifically tied to like the place that you live at?
No. Like I said, some of the stories that they're at your car in a parking lot asking you for a ride.
Okay.
it's interesting. There's a whole website dedicated to Shadow People stories and to Black Eyed Kid stories. Like pages of pages, like 240 fucking pages of stories.
That's awesome.
That is pretty badass.
And so I see stories, other people might say encounters, you know, until I've encountered one in person, I'm just going to say they're just made up.
We're still waiting.
So,
waiting for a call.
The Black Eyed Kids, if you're listening or watching,
Excuse me, sir.
Come visit.
Can I catch a ride on your chariot?
Just start pissing on it.
He's gonna ask if he can ride on your chariot, see if he
automobile.
Can use your telegraph, your automobile, your horse.
We come in and watch a show on the telly.
Can I hear the baseball game on your radio?
Oh my god. Fuck me. Goddamn. But yeah. I would applaud both of these guys for
having some balls.
Quick thinking. You know. They quickly got
the fuck out of that situation.
They did. They got the fuck out of there. They listened to their intuitions.
Which is what you all should be doing.
Well, that's why they're there.
And not some people.
That's why they're there, but people ignore them.
Yeah, it's true.
That uneasy feeling you get standing in the line at the grocery store getting ready to check out as the guy with the 70s porn stash walks up behind you. You know, I mean...
There's a reason.
There's a reason why you get that uneasy feeling.
There's a reason why you have fearful thoughts. To be Darth Vader.
That wasn't Darth Vader. That was just like...
That was him sucking a dick.
I liked my description, but...
It was something.
Something stuck in your throat.
I don't even have words for this. All right.
Yeah, because you got something stuck in your throat.
No.
Got a frog in your throat.
I ain't got no.
You miss Piggy?
Nothing.
I ain't got no nothing.
Ain't got no nothing, huh? Wow. Jesus Christ.
Is that a triple negative?
Yeah. It really is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you
All right, this is a good place to fucking end it because we're getting all fucking weirded out here. I got something in the back of my throat, biggest cock you've ever seen in your life, and
wow,
yeah, taking it all down.
It must be that invisible cock because we can't see it.
It's true,
but you're still choking on it.
So the biggest cock you've never seen.
It's like Bert and Ernie when Ernie laughs. Yeah, it's just kind of going deeper. It's going in the back of my throat.
All right, on that note.
How do you see Bert? With your eyes, Ernie. Dumbass. People wonder where we learned to be so sarcastic. Bert and Ernie.
The beginning of a legacy.
Yeah. So, but anyways, on that note, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like on the video. Smash that bell button. I want you to walk it down and drop it off.
Subscribe to this phenomenal magicness.
Yeah, the phenomenal magicness of
they
of
love
it.
us. It's fine.
Yeah, whether you love our stories, making fun of each other, or even you just love watching to make fun of us, we don't care. As long as we're all having fun and having a good time.
Exactly.
I like to be the butt of a joke.
You get entertained one way or another.
You're the ass of the studio, so.
And hopefully our stories have crept into your minds, left some little fearful nuggets.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you guys fucking have nightmares. Is that a good thing? Is that positive?
Yes. We want them to have nightmares and be kept up late at night with thoughts of you choking on a dick.
Yeah, and when you have those nightmares, make sure to post the stories somewhere. Tag us or do something like that. Put it in the comments. because we'd love to hear from you guys too. I know on Anchor you can leave some messages. Nobody's done that yet. No one's done that yet. Please leave a message.
And on Facebook,
Please.
you can leave us a message too.
Leave us a message, please.
Yeah, definitely. And make sure you hit that bell notification so you guys get notified every time a new episode is out of each week. So, without further ado,
See you later, fuckers.